One, two, one, two. Can you hear? Is the audio better? One, two, one, two. Is the audio better? One, two, one, two. Can you hear? Is the audio better? Is it better? One, two, one, two. Is the audio better? Respond. Is it better? There we go. Everybody hit the like button. Let's go. Can you hear?
And healthy food access. LA Kin also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis
Sounds better?
on the Skid Row community. In 2000,
All right. Yes, 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 yes. Everybody hit the like button. Don't come in without hitting the like button. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Like it up. We got to get in the algorithm. What up, Ronald? Ronald, Tony, Phil, Brad. Let me be. Let me be. Woo.
Behind every great man, you'll find a great woman. You ever heard that before? If that is true, the opposite has to also be true, no? Let me kind of get into it. By the way, some of the ladies watching this, you may not like it. Some of you are going to love it. Fellas, this is a message for you. Pay attention and pay attention very, very closely. If you get value from this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Let's get right into it. Behind every defeated man, you'll find a woman who ruined his life. This is something I tweeted this week. I want to read the whole thing. Again, stay with me. Behind every great man, you'll find a wonderful woman. Behind every defeated man, you'll find a woman that ruined his life. Is this true? Let me continue. There are two ways men get castrated. One is surgical. The other is emotional when marrying the wrong woman. The wrong woman can ruin a man's life. You can see it on his face. No man knows how to act when they get married for the first time. There's not a manual for it. I call this the last appointment syndrome. Whoever you talk to last before going to sleep will dictate your future. Pat, how could you say this? I mean, this isn't fair. Isn't the opposite true as well? Shouldn't the opposite be true? What if a woman that also marries the wrong man? Could a girl also ruin her life by marrying the wrong man? Absolutely. However, the American system protects the woman, and there's a greater risk for a man to get married than a woman to get married, and that's just the truth, okay? There isn't any more of a way a man can show loyalty to a woman, meaning to say that I'm all in with you once they have a kid together and they're married. Because One, tax code, I took the biggest risk. Two, I had a kid with you, I took the biggest risk. What else do you want me to show you my love, right? Now, some of you may say, well, Pat, you can't be saying that. What, isn't the opposite true as well with women, with this, with that? Of course, the opposite can be true with your friends, your cousin, who you hang out with, for women, all that other stuff. But in Iran, men are protected, so women have to be careful who to marry. In Iran, if a woman divorces her husband and leaves, doesn't get half of what the husband has. The husband doesn't give nothing to the wife in Iran if he doesn't want to, because the law defends men. In America, Western society, it defends women. So if a man is married to a woman, and the ultimate way by law and taxes for a man to show that the liability, purely financially, is through getting married and having a kid with a woman, you're financially tied where you have to take care of that person if you don't have an nuptial agreement in place.
Oh, Lord, this gonna be one of those. Lilith! Tonight's topic is called Lilith. Brother, are you in a relationship with the destroyer or the giver of life? An intriguing look at the belief that a woman can either build or destroy a man. We've got a lot of questions, but before we get to them, the power of relationships, building or destroying. In the realm of relationships, the impact of a partner on one's life can be profound. On tonight's show, we're going to delve into the intriguing belief that a woman can either build or destroy her man. It explores the concept of a misaligned woman and the consequences she may have on a man's life. Now listen, don't get all sensitive because I'm doing this topic. We do a lot of topics about the opposite. You better choose the right guy. We do those topics. So don't get offended. Drawing inspiration from Proverbs 18:22, which emphasizes the importance of choosing a good woman, we will examine the effects of toxic relationships and the journey towards healing and growth. Don't get it twisted. Women are exceedingly powerful, whether they're toxic or whole. Exceedingly powerful. The power of a great woman. A great woman has the potential to enhance a man's life in numerous ways. She can bring joy, pleasure, and acts as a treasure from God. A healthy relationship with a supportive partner can foster personal growth, emotional stability, and overall well-being. She can also bring intellect. She can also bring perspective. She can also bring wisdom. She can also bring balance. Such a woman becomes a life giver, nurturing her partner's dreams, aspirations, and self-esteem. However, the impact of a misaligned woman. A misaligned woman can have detrimental effects on a man's life. Oof. Her presence may lead to a progressive decline in his overall well-being. This decline can manifest in various ways, such as decreased self-confidence, emotional turmoil, and a sense of stagnation. This misalignment between partners can create a toxic environment, hindering personal growth and stifling the man's potential. Do you agree or disagree? 1-800-920-1580. Do you know women who speak death into a man's life? And I don't mean, I hope you die. I mean, not feeding him spiritually, emotionally, psychologically. We all say, this is who motivated me yesterday, my guest yesterday, Sharifa, who's running for Senate. She motivated me to do this topic yesterday because by default, many women think they're the prize, right? Right off rip. And I'm not saying women aren't the prize, but they think they're the prize right off rip by virtue of their gender. And I'm just asking the question. We know a good woman is a gift from God, but what is a misaligned woman? What kind of gift is she to a man? I want to know your thoughts on this one. I want to know your thoughts on this one. Woo! Is the man in your life responsible for undoing what was done to you by the men in your family? In other words, what you modeled. Have you ever experienced a relationship with a woman that progressively made your life worse? How do you define a great woman, and what qualities do you believe she should present? Women should be calling in right now. In what ways can a misaligned woman negatively impact a man's life? Do you believe that a woman's behavior can be detrimental, whether she is a destroyer or a life giver in a relationship? Somebody call in and tell me what you think. How do societal influences contribute to the attractiveness of ungodly women in today's toxic society? Do you hold the men in your life to a higher standard than the man or than the men in your own family? Ugh. Can you provide examples of how a toxic woman can destroy a man's life in 3 simple steps? Have you ever experienced the idolize, devalue, and discard stages in a relationship with a toxic woman? I don't know if y'all heard that question. Can I say it again? Have you ever experienced the idolize? Oh, you're the best thing since cheesecake. Devalue, you ain't all that. And discard, I'm on to the next stages in a relationship with a toxic woman. How did you feel during the idolized stage when the toxic woman made you feel like everything you've ever wanted? What are some signs that the toxic woman was entering the devalue stage in the relationship? How did the toxic woman make you feel during the devalue stage? Did she blame you for everything? Have you ever experienced the discard stage where the toxic woman abruptly ended the relationship and moved on with someone else? Oh, tonight is different. Lilith, brother, are you in a relationship with the destroyer of life or the giver of life? An intriguing look at the belief that a woman can either build or destroy a man. Very interesting stuff. Let me get Sean in here. He's the first caller. Sean, you're on the line. Let's go.
Hey, brother, this is wow, a toxic conversation. But no, I mean, so I've been married a long time, but I did have a brief moment in my early life for 2 or 3 years where I did have a toxic woman. And by the way, and it was like in high school though. This is going way back, and we're young and all that, but I think it's relevant because the fact is I get older and I have a successful marriage and whatever, we're doing our life thing, and then boom, she came back in, right? This is like 15 years ago or whatever, and she was trying to like get into my life, right? So let's just remember that when there's toxicity, right, and everyone's dealing with wounds, everyone has wounds, as you have eloquently spoken about, right? You can hurt someone's life at a certain point. So, and even, I wouldn't say destroy. I mean, those words are, I don't buy into those words. But you can hurt someone's life. You can cause harm. Is that, you're going to come back if you're resilient and kick some tail in and get your life back on track and do your thing and maybe even have a wonderful relationship with somebody, right? And then that person who did that harm might try to come back in. And you just are like laughing, like, bye now, go ahead and do your thing, because right now, Zoe, I mean, we're talking like, I'm telling you, what I'm thankful for is I don't surround myself with any of those people. I don't get any of those people around me. You are so, this is a toxic subject, but it's really good to talk about. It's a positive thing to talk about, in my opinion. And that's what I try to bring. Flood the zone with positive things. And when you're dealing with people around you that are super negative, and we all have to deal with that, especially this time of the year, if you have family or uncles, cousins, primo, boom, boom, you know, sometimes you have people that you totally disagree with. So if you're that one person that doesn't buy into that negative and you just bring the positive, what I mean by that is if they say something that's crazy, talking about a subject, and you...
Did we lose Sean? Ah, man, we lost Sean. Ah, call us back, Sean. Let me just say this. I believe some toxic men can turn good women into Lilith. Ooh, brothers don't want to hear that. Brothers don't want to hear that. Listen, when I come forward, more questions. We're going to delve deeper and more callers. Get in here. Rob, you got to call in, man. We ain't heard from you in a while. Call in. Callers, y'all got to get in here. Come on. I ain't even going to tell you about the super chat. We 30 minutes into the show. No super chats. Everybody just posted. Pretty Brown Mimi, you got to call in. He Who Thinks, you got to call in. True Monger, you got to call in. Hey, Ronald Terry. What? Okay, y'all rather chat than call in? I need y'all to call in. Jacinda Lewis. Jacinda Lewis, please call in. What up, Charles Walker? Call in. Paying homage, what up? Juice 713, call in. Gang Channel, call in. Yes, yes, yes. What up, what up, what up? Khalid, what up? I'm staying on point. What up? Hey, y'all can't be, listen, don't be afraid to engage in the real discussion. Please know, all right, that the phone lines are open. We got Reggie on. We got Sean back. Call in. Hey, lurkers in the background, say what's up. Say what's up, lurkers. Lurkers in the background, say what's up. It's all good. It's all good, Rob. You should call in. Chris M, dope topic as usual, brother Zoe. Hey, what up, Charleston? Or Carlton. Sorry. Carlton. Phil Brad, what up? Tapped in. What you know you gotta call in, tapped in. This topic is right up your alley. Call in. That's right. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. We good on the likes. We 30 for 30 on the likes. John Gilbreth II. We appreciate it. What up, good brother? Welcome into. All my lurkers, say what's up.
Because we've got your black. Listen up. If you're one of the more than 100,000 California tenants who were rejected or delayed when applying for COVID rental assistance, you've got a second chance. Under the terms of a new settlement, California's housing
Rob B, twos and fuse. Let's get active. Thank you, Rob.
The program ended in March 2022, but
Kim G, can you call in?
Californians for community and
where y'all at? I know you cooking, but y'all can call.
A just economy sued the department. According to the coalition's analysis of state data, the department rejected nearly 30% of all applicants. Under the settlement, the department agreed to clear all renters in the pipeline within 6 months. The settlement applies to anyone who sought assistance from the state's Housing is Key program before April 1st.
Carlton, call in, alias or not.
Is pending or was denied after June 6, 2022.
Chopping and cooking, I know.
Questions about the status of their application can call the hotline live and 20 at 833
Live and 20.
430 2122. That's 833-430-2122. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Clip right after the drop.
Just had a fight with my mom over something trivial told. We really have confrontation, and what the I said to you was wrong. I think she get it from my mom. Her bitterness passed down the bone. Took the time when I'm calling out of trauma. She too defensive to listen my pulse. Look at me, I got problems. You got the type of advice that I need. I couldn't get the wrong emergency. They won't hold enough the time that I need. Between working or being so crazy, what's the time zone difference? Don't make it easy. So I figured I'd call it early. Turn my life down, mercy. I got pray to me. So just lay back in my hands. So everybody tell me it's over.
I had a very long conversation with one of my close female friends. We're always building or whatever case may be. And we were basically talking about toxic women, insecure women, women who run men out of relationships. And I had to throw some notes together, man, so I can give y'all this, man. So these are the signs I need you to look for, fellas. The number one sign is she is very insecure. Now, I know as human beings, nothing is perfect on any of us, man. None of us are perfect, so some of us have insecurities that You know, that sometimes it's hard to deal with. But an insecure, spirited woman is one of the worst women you can be around. No matter how good you tell them they look, or no matter how good you make them feel, they always find a way to feel not needed, not respected, not cherished. And this can put a strain on your relationship. It's crazy when you got to deal with your insecurities and then you have to deal with another person's insecurities that's way worse than yours. This can hurt a relationship. This can also break down a man. If you're constantly dealing with this over and over and over again, finding ways to make her smile, and every time you find a way to make her smile, it's making you feel bad on the inside because it's like you sacrificing yourself for the greater of the good. And this is one of the traits that if you see, this is definitely a warning signal. This is a warning sign for you to get out immediately. The next trait you need to...
And that brother was sitting in his car talking. So I don't know if we can listen to everything, but do you agree or disagree with some of the points he was making? The voice of reason is on Complete Fire live from KBLA Talk 1580. In relationships, the influence of a woman can be exceedingly profound, either enhancing a man's life or causing it to deteriorate. Take our good brother Denzel Washington. His wife enhanced his life, made it all good. Hey, okay. On tonight's show, we're going to delve into the intriguing belief that a woman can either build or destroy her man. It explores the consequences of being in a relationship with a misaligned woman and the potential factors that contribute to her destructive behavior. Again, we're drawing from Proverbs 18:22, which emphasizes the importance of choosing a good woman. I need to know, y'all, ladies, listen, nobody knows more about women than women. And when I sit and listen to women talk about women, it's not always so flattering. How does that translate into relationship? Let's get Sean in here so he can finish his final thought.
Well, yeah, let's bring me in because I'm a woman. No, I'm just kidding. Look, I've been with a woman for a long time, so I'm just saying that there's no doubt that a woman could be toxic and do serious harm to a man and his relationship and his life and all that. But I think what we have to realize is, like you said, who do you choose? You got to be very picky when you choose someone to have kids with, for instance, or have a life with. You have to be very picky. You have to be very picky. And they might be very picky as well. I'm just saying be very picky and make sure you're around people that are positive, not when you just first meet them in that love phase, you know, that they are very positive throughout at least past 6-12 months, you know, that you're together and they always are looking at the positive and dealing with the negative, because we all have to deal with the negative. But they're trying to promote the positive.
Right.
And that's the best way to try to make things happen, because we all have issues. We all have crap that comes down the line. We all have financial issues. We all have stuff going on. But, you know, yeah, we can destroy each other. But I would prefer that, you know, we try to pick people that won't do that, and that if we have someone that's on the line, that we try to work with them and repair, you know, these things when they go bad.
Man.
But that's not that easy.
Hey, brother, I appreciate you for the wisdom, for the insight. Guess what you just did?
Well, you know, brother, I'm bringing Oakland in the building.
Oaktown, East Bay. We appreciate the call. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. Reggie has brought the great state of Texas in the building. Reggie, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Being a minister, understanding Proverbs 18:22.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Okay, I think a woman can be there while your life goes down. I don't think this, and I believe that there are Lilith women. I get it. I mean, I've been through that. I understand it. I think they can assist you as your life goes down. I think you attract who you are, and I think you get who you are.
Right.
And you can control you, meaning you and your energy and your mind. You can control you. You can't control anybody else. This argument can really have a bunch of things in it. The wrong job can bring your life down. The wrong city can bring your life down. The wrong woman can bring your life down. All of these things, but they all center on you. So it's about you and your mind. Like, what are you doing with your mind and your energy? And when you answer that question, then you kind of repel certain things out of your life. You know, I attracted a Lilith in my life, and we were together for years. Most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not kidding. Most beautiful woman ever. But she wasn't good for me. But she wasn't good for me because my mind wasn't good for me. And it attracted her, and some things happened, and it wasn't the right stuff for me. But it all goes back to the decisions I made and the energy that was in me to make them decisions for me. And I can't control anybody else, but I definitely can control me and my mind and the energy that I put out. I can do that, and I can't fool myself into thinking I'm doing something else when I know what I'm doing.
So are you telling me that the Lilith is a reflection of the mess that's in you? That's why she's there? Talk to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am absolutely saying that. Yep. She's a reflection of the energy that's around you and the decisions you're making about you. Yeah.
I love it.
And I'm not taking the responsibility from her because she's responsible for her actions. But you are responsible for attracting her and keeping her around, knowing what she is and who she is. Because I knew who this Lilith was from the beginning. I just thought I could outsmart it because I'm me. And it didn't work that way.
Let me ask you. I gotta ask you. What does that verse mean? Proverbs 18:22. The last part of the verse says you're making a mistake, basically, if you get with an ungodly woman. So what exactly does the Bible mean when it says ungodly woman?
It means that you bring doom on yourself when you attract and align yourself with people that don't do you or mean you any good. That's what I think. That's what it means. And every generation interprets scripture.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Let's look at you know, the Hebrews, you know, the Midrash. That's what they do. That's an interpretation of scripture. So everybody interprets. And the interpretation of the scripture in the 21st century is that if you attract the wrong thing to you and you keep it around you, it will ruin you. That's it.
Wow. Reggie, guess what you just did?
Texas remains in the building.
You underdig? Austin, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, you already know what you got to do. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Let's get it. Hey, turn that food down. Turn it down. Put it on simmer and call in. Can I get y'all to do that? Agree, Reggie. Texas in this thing. Yo, we got one caller on the line. What are y'all doing? This is a tough topic because most women We're life givers, nurturers, and etc. I agree. Who's calling in though? Mimi, you should call in and talk about that. I see you, Attila. I'm staying on point. You should have been in here. We need wisdom. Hey, Truemonger, thank you, man. Thank you. We're at $40, by the way. I appreciate it. 49 minutes into the first hour, which is flying. Show is flying by. We appreciate it. Please continue to hit that super chat. Show your love. Please keep supporting. Support.
Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't mad and scary, but it is mad to make you think twice. Look the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Ow.
In this little clip, she tells him, "What did you do?" And all the women in the comment section are saying, "Oh, men like to buy us nice things just to butter us up." You know what's really annoying about a lot of women? You guys will bitch and complain that men don't apologize, but when they do, you bitch and complain about that. Do you want an apology or not? Do you want a man to buy you things or not? You guys contradict yourselves every chance you get. This is the reason why men don't feel good enough. This is the reason why men do not try, because you don't let them. When you make things difficult and hard, a man's not going to even want to do it. That's like complimenting a woman. Her always going, "Oh, no, I'm not going to compliment you anymore, bitch. It's annoying. God damn. I get it that we go through things and we're sad and all that. Heal, because you guys are going to destroy good men. Y'all will bring all your toxicity from your last relationship. You can tell this girl has never been loved a day in her life because he's giving you flowers, trying to be sweet to you, and that's the deadly side-eye you give him. Like, you guys are so backwards, but you'll sit there and suck up pee-pee for guys who don't give a fuck about you."
Oh, wow. We lead Jesus. Whoa. Hey, that clip, it got past us. Woo! Lord have mercy. Tonight's topic, this is a heavy one. This is a doozy. We got callers on the line. We want to get them in here. We want to get their perspective. Attila, Houston, Texas, get in here.
Uncleville, what's going on?
Hey, what's happening?
What's up? All right, real quick before I get back to my game, because I'm actually in Dallas right now. But
Hey,
let me just this topic. Whew. All right. So I wrote down 3 things that women can use to destroy a man's life, and I think these things happen. It's not necessarily gendered because I feel like men do this as well, but it's just a process. It's a narcissistic process, right? So 3 things: attract, consume, destabilize.
Go into those, yes.
So attract, right? You know, to me, that's more so the intimacy piece, the enticement, and entrapment. And so I think a lot of times, you know, depending on the person, if they are starved for that level of intimacy, then, you know, the attraction piece is a no-brainer. Pretty easy. The consumption is more so gaining access to that person's personal affairs, right? So that's their money, that's their business associations, you know, family, kind of integrating into that person's life. And you destabilize by basically using the positive perception that those associations have of you against that person. So, you know, if they start to call you out, well, you know, you can make them look a certain way to the associations that they have, right? So that's the rumors, the gossip, the cover-up, manipulation. I could go on.
You out here cooking. Keep going.
I mean, I've seen this happen in friendships, right? This isn't even just like specific to romantic relationships, but essentially, if you want to assassinate someone's character by way of a romantic relationship, it's even easier when you're on your back. So, in my opinion, I think that the reason why men tend to fall prey to this type of stuff is because they don't believe that the intimacy part means as much, right? Because, you know, I'm not emotionally invested into this woman, right? But she can run game on you in circles in ways that you can't even imagine, just based off of your lust. So I think what this really is a lot of times is people feeding into the attachment styles and wounds that other people have because they can sense what those deficits are, and then they just capitalize on them. So, I mean, I think if you're not seeking healing, then you're seeking your own destruction.
Wow.
So, at the end of the day, it's up to you. I agree with Reggie. It's up to you as men to do your own work and hit dogs holler. So the more you whine about whatever woman did you wrong, the more you tell on yourself, and that kind of lets the world know what healing you have yet to do. And again, this is not gendered. It goes both ways.
Right.
Right. But yes.
Guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Yeah, oh, wait a minute. Before you leave, I can't even let you leave. John Gilbreth II says, do women even apologize? He's in the chat right now. And he's back there yelling, no.
I mean, I think it depends on the level of growth that person has attained. Like, it depends on where they are. You know, if you're honest about who you are to yourself, then I can be honest to that other person about who I am and apologize. But if I haven't reached that level yet, then why would I be able to apologize? It's just, and then when you add in the avoidance and the anxious, preoccupied attachments and things like that, you know, some people apologize too much. So, you know, there's a lot of things there. But to me, that's a self-growth issue. I mean, if I'm dating someone who has trouble apologizing, then I need to ask myself, where am I practicing unforgiveness within my own lifestyle?
Wait,
now, there's a reason why.
Now you got Mimi mad. Pretty Brown Mimi in the chat says, Attila, just say yes, girl. Come on, say yeah. We apologize.
I'm not gonna tell no lies. Like, if you're an unhealed person, you're not out here apologizing, especially if you're not used to being called on your stuff. That's just the truth. I'm sorry. Like, men have that experience and women do as well. Again, these things are not gendered. Right. If you're dealing with an unhealed person who is used to being the victim, they are not going to apologize. Period.
Oof. Attila, one more time.
You have unforgiveness in your life too. So instead of just blaming them for not apologizing, you need to look at yourself and figure out where your unforgiveness lies as well. That's why you attract them.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready.
What did you just do again, Attila? What did you just do, Attila? Tell us.
in the building.
Houston, Texas. Texas is in here deep. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We're on complete fire. We got some more callers from all over the country right now. I think this show is off to an amazing start. Listen, self-blame and the toxic woman. And I love the way Attila put it. These things are not gendered because men do it too. Self-blame and the toxic woman. Men often blame themselves for the toxic behavior of their partners, believing they deserve the abuse. This self blame can further damage men's self esteem and perpetuate the cycle of abuse. It is crucial to recognize that no one deserves mistreatment and to seek support to break free from this destructive pattern. I think men and women do this collectively. When we come forward, we're going back to the phone lines. Are women speaking life and death? Which woman do you have? Hey, thank you guys for hitting the super chat. Guess what? An hour in, we're halfway there. Can we get the other half to get to $100 today? We're at $50.94. I want to thank everybody for hitting that super chat. Do you guys enjoy the show? Put up an emoji if you enjoy the show. Whatever emoji you think is suitable, just put up an emoji to let me know that you are enjoying the show. And Attila, great fire, great call. I'm staying on point. I want to hear from you. Alafia, sister. Bring the LBC in the building. Hey, you know we're going to get a phone call, right? I know I'm going to get a phone call, Andy. Andy. He can't even hear. No, dead ass. The F-bomb? Dead ass.
Has your soulmate become
Dead
your
ass.
soulmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turn-offs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a bad person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
I like the heavy stuff. The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How is that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like the kiss. Is this something wrong up there?
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant. Betrayal has been committed. Hit you with a bad touch routine. How does he maintain
No, thank
this
you.
capacity? He likes it when it pinches my lips. Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you make women so numb?
So Williams. Reason and accountability. The voice of reason. 4 ways women lose a good man and how you can avoid it. Pay attention. Let's get into it, ladies. Men, correct me if I'm wrong. Taking them for granted. A man been so good to you for so long, you no longer see the value in them. the value in how they treat you. Not communicating well or effectively, like expecting men to read our minds and getting mad when they can't. Being dismissive about how you make him feel, or being overly defensive in response to how he feels. Basically, not liking being held accountable for your actions and how you've made that man feel. Last but not least, being selfish and unwilling to compromise.
Whoa! Are we on fire tonight? We are on complete fire tonight. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Are you with Lilith? The mythological, well, maybe it's not mythological. They say she predates the Bible. Goodness. Maybe it's not mythological. Adam's first wife, who quarreled with him and rebuffed 3 angels after they tracked her down after she ran away from Adam. Eve. They said Eve is the second wife, the sweet one. But can men really differentiate between a toxic woman and a supportive woman? Differentiating between a toxic woman and a supportive woman who genuinely cares for her man's well-being can be challenging for a lot of men. Red flags and warning signs may appear early on in a relationship, such as controlling behavior, constant criticism, and or lack of empathy. It is essential to trust one's instincts and seek guidance to avoid falling into toxic relationships. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. Can a toxic woman change? While change is possible for everyone, it is essential to acknowledge that change must come from within. A toxic woman can only improve her behavior if she recognizes her actions, takes responsibility, and seeks personal growth. However, it is not the responsibility of the man to change her, and he must prioritize his own well-being. You do know that this is bidirectional and it is not gender-based. The same applies for men. All of these points that I'm bringing up, the same applies for men. And I do believe that men can also cause good women to go bad. Let's not forget that. Yo, here we go. We got callers all over the country. Let's get them in here. Nick from the SIP. Nikki, I know you got something ready for me tonight.
Brother Joe, hello, fam. What's going on?
You know I had to do this one now.
Okay, right at the holidays with the cliffhangers. Here you go.
Hey.
In the interest of internal growth, people should check out R.C. Blake. He has several books, but the Father-Daughter Talk is a good place to start, and then you can move on to Queenology, and he has a Keynology also. But it does help sort of meet you where you are in dealing with the very issues that you're talking about. Broken consciousness in a woman is like a weapon of mass destruction, because if we look at it from women being the life givers in terms of carrying children, you asked earlier about how to kill a man in 3 steps. Well, first with words mentally, because in the womb she can destroy him before he even gets here with negative talk. If she's unhappy about being pregnant, she finds out it's a boy, but she really wanted a little girl, and that it takes her a while to warm to the idea of a son if she really wanted a daughter. Physically, if we aren't paying attention to what our men are doing with their body, even our young boys, what they're putting in it, whether that be substance-related or even food issues. And then spiritually, in my household growing up, it was a big deal to never break a man's spirit. If you break the spirit of a man, it's really, really hard for him to come back from that. So it's extremely difficult. I mean, we can be mad and we have to go our separate ways, and I may even be in a place of healthy disdain. But in the household I came from,
Never break a man's spirit. Don't do that. You asked about ungodly earlier. Ungodly is neither fear nor serving of God, which represents, in my opinion, an unalignment with Christ, which is very scary. That anytime we're misaligned, it's a problem. But if you're unaligned with God, then that's a whole different level, which is why you might be exhibiting characteristics in terms of killing a man. You talked about the Proverbs. Okay, that's important because the last 5 or the next 5 words of after a man who findeth a wife has found is a good thing, I think people miss. And they are, and obtains favor from God. If you obtain God's favor, I humbly submit, the favor of God can do things for you that money cannot. That's why they say favor ain't fair. It opens doors that no man can open or close. It provides you access in ways that money will not get you. The favor of God is Him speaking your name in the ears of men and women in rooms you never enter when He's talking to them. But when you enter the room of who He's whispering your name to, they know who you are. The favor of God does that.
So you said something very profound, and I want to get a little bit more insight. You said you were raised in a household that said never break a man's spirit. How can a man's spirit be broken, and why would they be teaching that to a young girl such as yourself? Talk to me.
Because oftentimes through the strain of relationships, you might have women who, or I mean, it works the other way, but I'm saying me because I'm a girl and that's what we were taught, who might be vengeful, who might want to strike back at a man. And if you know the man you are with, or whoever your partner is, you tend to poke the bear in the place you know will hurt the most if you're in a vengeful or angry place. And so in my household, men, you talked about the people in your family and, how you hold them accountable versus the intimate relationships. Okay. Men were held in a place of honor in my household. So if it was the last piece of steak, chicken, pork chops, cornbread, whatever, whoever the senior man in the house is at the table gets first dibs on that before anybody else.
I see.
Okay. And so when you're talking about teaching young girls in the family, if you poke the bear in the place that you know you'll hurt him, like really hurt him, see, that's breaking a man's spirit. This is oftentimes after you mentally assaulted him and just eviscerated him, whether it be over a long period of time or a short period of time. That's why I said mentally you can work on a man in the womb. Then he's born, and then he is introduced to women who further take him down to there with their language to him. Feed his spirit in a positive way. They don't build a man up so that he has a foundation so that when he meets this woman who has broken consciousness, he knows to run, Forrest, run. You can have this in a man in places in him without initially destroying the whole. You can kill him a little bit over time and break him down to the point over time that you do break his spirit.
Wow. Nikki.
Women know they can do
that. Why are women so reluctant to talk about it as openly and freely as you're doing right now?
Because you got to do what the thing is you always talk about. You got to do the work. If you weren't reared in an environment where these kind of conversations took place, then you have got to do that work. I do not want to make another human being, even if that human being can't stay with me for whatever the reason is. I want you to be better when you leave me than when you got here, even if you got to go.
Wow. Wow.
Because
Nick.
sometimes you gotta go, or I gotta go. But I don't have to break you down to dust because we got to go.
Ooh, come on, Nick.
Come on now.
Oh.
I can't take a man's last nothing. His last money, his last food. That's hard for me. Because in the house I came from, that's not what queens do. A queen will only respond to a king.
I like it. Nikki, do you know what you just did?
I love everybody. Happy Thanksgiving about the sip ends before the holiday.
Nikki from the SIP, Mississippi in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We got a barn burner here. Yeesh. Yikes. Hey, whoever just called, call back. Nikki was on fire. Call in. I see Truemonger. I see I'm staying on point. We got 2 or 3 lines open. Call in. I want to hear your thoughts. What do y'all think of tonight's topic? Let me know. Let me know. What up, y'all? Are y'all sharing this topic with anybody? Hit the like button. Share it. That's what she said. Empress, you should call in too. People are distracted by the holiday nonsense. Yes, I know. Live in 30. Hey, you need a cough drop? You need a cough drop? You sure? Because I got them.
damage. That's how you ruin good men. If you are a woman who is not healed through their trauma, say you were in a past relationship with a man who was extremely abusive to you, and in your survival mode, you would match his level of intensity, so you would start yelling, screaming, calling names, throwing things in his face because he was doing it to you, and now you're in a new relationship, and you're with a man who doesn't do anything like that. He's a super sweet dude. He has his flaws. He frustrates you and gets under your skin a little bit. But once you enter fight or flight, and you're triggered, and you're living that scenario that you had with your ex, knowing that that is not your current partner, and you start throwing things in his face and calling him names and yelling at him and berating him because you can't control your emotions or resolve the trauma and the damage from somebody else, you are ruining that good man. And you're going to take a little bit of...
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, we up in here tonight, the night before Thanksgiving. Hey, I know this is in the background in many people's kitchen right now. People are in there cooking, and we're in here cooking right now. Woo! Here we go. We got callers from all over the country. This is a national discussion right now. People are calling in from all over the United States to join this. Let's get Dallas, Texas back in here. Truemonger, what are your thoughts?
Yes, sir.
Truemonger, how are you, brother?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Man, I'm ready. How you doing? How?
I can't complain. I can't complain. Don't do no good anyway.
Nah, who gonna listen?
Right. They don't care.
Right.
But as far as the topic goes, I think most men have experienced a builder and a destroyer, probably within the same person. There's gonna be moments where that happens.
Yes.
It could be intentional. It might be unintentional. It could be a case where maybe a woman is trying to destroy what you are in order to build what she wants you to be, to make herself feel better. There's women out there that do that and act like it's okay. A lot of Liliths out here, more than likely they come from daddy issues.
Really?
So they may feel like they can use a man up, but they really don't care about him. So they'll say whatever and do whatever and think a man's just supposed to take it just because they got a vagina. A lot of women will use that as an excuse to try to get away with anything. And it doesn't work that way. So in some way or form or fashion, you're accountable for what you say and do.
Right.
If you're intentionally trying to destroy somebody, it's going to come back on you. And you're not going to like the result of it. But then you're going to try to make up every excuse in the world for why it happened instead of being accountable for what you did.
Right.
So it's always, to me, it's always better. Of course, you'd rather be with a builder, a supporter.
Right.
But everybody's not going to be like that. And it's going to take maturity. You're going to have to go through some stuff to actually get to that point.
Right.
Some people were never taught that. So all they know how to do is destroy. Some people like to joke it. They just want to see people burn.
Man.
They don't care how you feel about it, as long as they get what they want.
That's right. True. Guess what you just did, brother? Dallas, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. It's on fire tonight. But I will say this, too. The reverse is also true. I think men can speak sickness and death into women. I think men can be emotionally abusive. I think men can be exceedingly verbally abusive. I know, looking at myself, there have been times where, I will cut you down with my words, and I've done it before. So I do believe that men and women both share this power of being able to speak life and death into a situation. And we talked about this with Dr. Pakoya McCall the other night. So I do believe both men and women can do it. But what's interesting is it's like this folklore that basically says when you find a good woman, that's God sent, that's heaven sent. You know, God put you on when you found a good woman. I do believe that. Um, but I also think the reverse is true too, ladies. When you find a good man, I think sometimes because the options are so crazy right now because of the internet and all other different types of access or whatever. I think what happens is sometimes you got to get out there and start comparing what you have with what's available. And I think when you get into the comparison game, that's when you fall off. That's when you fall off. So this is a heavy topic, man, and I'm really enjoying it. Callers are from everywhere right now. I'm staying on point. Has been on the longest. Get in here.
Alafia family.
Lafia, what are your thoughts?
Mr. Zone. Um, since you came from the scripture, I grabbed one.
Thank
and
you.
I will paraphrase from Matthew 7 and 12. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Some would call that a moral code, a universal law. So if a person can intentionally hurt you, then I believe True was on the freeway of speaking about karma. It's going to come back in some shape or form, unfortunately. And if you can hurt somebody, that's very selfish. And when it comes down to women and men looking at women, I would say this. Look and really understand how a woman talks to herself. If she demeans herself, that means she's going to do the same thing to you.
That's big.
It says if you want to have friends, then you have to show yourself friendly. So if this person doesn't have anything good to say for themselves, how are you going to expect them to have anything good to say to you? It's not going to happen. And I will close with this. One of the dangerous things in a woman's community is the friends that she keeps. We all have those friends that are going to tell us what's right. And then in the instance of you having a good man, but you want to take him for what he's worth, then you go in and talk to that other friend that is going to fuel that fire. And so the community could be even your family members. You have to be big enough and strong enough to set up those boundaries to cut those people off, because it's just going to breed toxicity.
I love it. I love it. Guess what you just did?
I brought LBC in the building.
You brought Long Beach, California in the building. You want to bring your city in the building. The phone lines are just lighting up. People from all over the country, they want to talk about it. And I want to talk about it too. Let's get CA from Nolans. Nolans in the house.
What's up, Zoe?
CA, how are you, brother? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? No profanity.
Okay. I experienced this whole topic firsthand. The whole show, everything that's being said and described is like a firsthand experience for me.
Really? How?
Yeah, I'm real careful in talking about it because I understand that what I've been through and what I'm going through is a reflection of myself. So I'm always having a high level of introspection when talking about what my experience is and what I've been through and stuff, and who I magnetize to. But yeah, I'm calling in to kind of like share a little bit on the topic.
Please.
When in that relationship, I tried everything except for getting married, and none of it worked. It was a situation where I could give some examples of things where she's had her trauma, but ultimately at the end of the day, I've heard words like "I blame you" and "only you," and stuff like I was on my road to trying to fulfill a basketball career, and at the end, when it wasn't working out, I was told that I wish you never made it because I felt like if you would have made it, you would have left me for somebody else.
Wait, hold tight. Hold tight. When we come forward, we going back to CA in New Orleans, Louisiana. We got a lot to talk about, clearly. Rob B, call right back, man. Call right now, Rob. I'm staying on point. Thank you. Thank you. True Monger, thank you. So I can't wait until you talk about the men. We've been talking about the men all night. I've been balancing this topic out. You should call in right now. The phone line is open. You can call right now. Come on, Pretty Brown Mimi, call right now. I've been talking about them. I've been balancing the topic all night. Mimi, you're not calling. You can call right now. I want to hear your point. Can't hear the YouTube. So let me tell you the process. You call, Andy gets your call, he gets your name and where you're calling from, hangs up, not put you on hold, then he turns to another computer to write your name. The phone is ringing, he got to go back to the phone and pick it up. So sometimes you guys get caught in that middle section when he turns to type in name and city. Then she don't call. There she is. We got her. Definitely going to Mimi. Can't hear the YouTube break. Went on hold. Well, that's good. All right, we got callers.
I just want to say, ladies, I appreciate the transparency and the honesty.
You like that, huh?
Y'all the real MVPs tonight.
He said, ladies, y'all are the real MVPs tonight. He appreciates the transparency and the honesty. Look, you know when we come back from this break, the show is going to be over just like that. We are at $65.94. There's 42 people in here. If everybody who hasn't dropped any on the super chat, if everybody dropped $2, we would get to our $100 mark. Can I get everybody to do that? Can I get everybody to show their love and do that? Can everybody who hasn't dropped a 2 or a few hit that little $sign right there at the bottom of the super chat and show your love? Can you do that for me? Andy Jackson, that's funny. The Bible says forgives 430 some odd times. Most of us struggle forgiving once. And when we do forgive, usually it is conditional. The Bible says forgive 400 plus times. Most people don't have the patience to do that. Here we go. Are we going to play the drop or are we going to play the song? Gotcha. Thank you, Rob. You already gave, though.
Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
So I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected. Neglected my effort, offended no trust. Dirty games and affairs that be tearing us up. And things that picture perfect is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we're going to be going over 6 foolproof, easy ways to tell that a woman is toxic. And I think every single guy on the planet should watch this video, especially after the Amber Heard Johnny Depp debacle that we all saw online. I think it will benefit all of you to make sure that you watch this video and stick around until the very end. So again, these are 6 foolproof ways to tell that a woman is toxic. Let's get right into it. Number 1, she's always the victim. If she's always pointing fingers, blaming you, never taking accountability, it's always everyone's fault but hers, this is not a good sign, and a sign that she's unable to take accountability for her actions, which is obviously not beneficial if you're looking for a healthy, mature relationship. This is the type of girl that's always going to make you feel guilty, who's going to make you feel like you need to be apologizing for things that you didn't even do, simply because of the fact that she can't take accountability for her actions. Plain and simple, it's exhausting to be with someone like this, and a toxic situation to be in where someone is always blaming other people and playing the victim. Now, there's a really big difference between playing the victim and actually being the, person who's in the right in a situation. I'm not saying that she can never be the victim in a situation, but I do think that constantly playing the victim or wanting to be the victim and wanting people to feel bad for you and throw a pity party for you is not a good way to live your life and is exhausting to be with someone like that. Number 2, and one of the easiest ways to see things from the very beginning, is that they play games. This is something that you honestly might be able to pick up on from the very start and save yourself some time. I say this all the time on my channel. If you have been on my channel for a while, I'm sure you've heard me say this a million times. If she's playing games with you, this is a sign that she is insecure and immature, and we don't have time for that here. And also, this is going to be a window into what the rest of your relationship is going to look like with her, which probably is not a healthy, happy one. I will also say this.
Woo! This is Andy in here looking like, whoa, so what is going on? This is a heavy topic. I had to drop this topic before the holiday. The sister that was in here, was it yesterday? She said it. She said, when you find a wife, find a good thing. I'm saying, yeah, but sometimes you got to go through a few mishaps before you get there, right? And same for women, right? 1-800-920-1580. We got a lot of callers on the line from all over the country. Let me get CA from New Orleans back in here to get his thought. CA, you were saying.
Oh yeah, I was saying that
as a ball player, she was like, I hope you don't make it.
Yeah, well, she told me on the back end she hoped that I never make it. Hoped that I never made it, because if I did, I would have left her. You know, we had kids together, and so that was not what that's rooted in. I'm always trying to even it out and show my side. I have stepped out on a relationship before, and I've empathized and apologized for that, but she has too. And I noticed this thing about I know it's not just my situation, so I'm speaking to most people here, a lot of people here. In my situation, the more accountability I took, the more it seemed to absolve her from any wrongdoing.
Interesting.
From her end. Like every time I tried to show some empathy or like try to show some understanding and not argue, I felt like if I would have argued, it would have I would have stood a better chance than trying to empathize and look at things from her point of view and try to show some compassion and all of those things. Because the more I did that, the more it absolved her from any wrongdoing, to the point where she felt like she had no role of playing anything. You know?
Interesting, brother. Interesting. Sorry you had to go through that, man. That's tough. But what did you learn about yourself?
Oh, snap. So when these situations, they can be reflections of yourself, but I feel like this situation, it wasn't a reflection of my character. It was more a reflection of my bad decision making and the choices I made, and not being more respectful to myself, of being protective of who I reproduced with and got with.
Hey, man.
I'm a nice person. I'm not. Yeah.
No, man, I appreciate the honesty. I'm not going to push back on you. I appreciate the honesty, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, but listen, guess what you just did?
Yeah, I brought New Orleans in the building.
Come on, New Orleans is in the building. Y'all know when I say guess what you just did? You brought your city in the building. The phone lines are crazy right now. Let's get back home. Inglewood, Leroy, get in here.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yeah, Model Tep to you. Hope all is well to everybody, all the family. These sisters you had on there tonight was dynamic. I mean,
yes.
They were
yes.
Good. Night. The psychologist. I mean, come on, man.
Yes, brother.
I'm giving props to the sisters because, but let me just go metaphysical. Can I go higher? Is it all right if I go higher?
You can go higher. Go higher, brother. Go higher.
Okay, brother. So, Lilith is a type. She represents something from a patriarchal view. That if you run into a woman who wants to be on top, she wants to compete with you for the leadership spot. She wants to contest your ideas and ideology of the way things should go and how they should be. That woman got to be rejected. You're supposed to look for and choose someone who's a little bit more docile and submissive and supportive. Now, they go all the way and stretch that to the point where Lilith becomes evil and demonic, and, they go in a whole bunch of other directions with that. But we just boiled it down to the basic. Lilith represents the woman who might be great at what she does, but probably won't make the greatest mate. if you operating within that patriarchal structure. And Eve represents someone that you can work with, even though she might be more gullible to a silver-tongued devil.
Devil, right, right.
You know, I'm being polite, you know, but you understand.
I understand.
You know, simplicity, right?
Yeah.
Devil, the evil, right? Slickster.
Yes.
Player, pimp. You know, hustler, wrestling game, you know.
Right.
So that's kind of the basics of those stories, even though they get fleshed out into something where they turn into something, you know, unnecessary. Now, I'll stop right there, and I want to thank the other sisters who pointed that out on a more mundane, practical, touch it everyday level, because they did an excellent dynamic job.
Hey, brother.
Thank you for bringing up the subject.
Hey, and guess what you just did?
Man, I brought you into the building.
Inglewood is in the building. We appreciate you for calling. If you want to bring your city in the building, join the national discussion that we're having right now. We are on complete fire, and I'm loving every moment of it. Mimi, Jacksonville, Florida, get in here.
You know what?
Go ahead, Mimi. Go ahead. Let us have it.
I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Because most women, we are life givers, we are nurturers. We are not perfect. We do see the good, the bad, and the ugly in ourselves. I am accountable. I think most women are accountable. And I feel like I'm tired of this narrative of black women in particular, emasculating black men. And black men not being accountable for their own BS. And put it back on us and say, oh, it's y'all. But it's really both of us. It's toxicity on both ends. But it's like everybody, no, it's y'all, it's y'all, it's y'all. But it's us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree with you. I think I done said that 3-4 times tonight.
Read the chat, though. Everybody's not on your page.
It's hard for me to read everything y'all saying in the chat. What's going on in the chat? Tell me what happened.
I don't know where to begin.
Who had said what, Mimi? Tell me now.
I'm not going to say any names, because I could, but I'm not. I'm just saying, let's just be fair. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, let's be fair, because black women, you know, we get it from all sides. You know, I'm not talking about a target on our back, but it's like everybody says, black women, you're angry, you're this, you're that, you're emasculating black men. And in actuality, if we really want to tell the truth, it's other women that are emasculating black men 3 times more than we are. But nobody really talks about that.
Now you got Andy involved because you talking.
Oh, here we go.
Here come Andy. Andy, get in here.
So, you know what I'm saying? You've been doing this show over here on KBLA going on, 2+ years?
Yeah.
And one thing I could say about you, you always keep it balanced.
I do.
Today, I know you might be, highlighting the women, but, when we come back on Monday, you're probably going to go in on the dudes.
You know,
I want to say, it's a balance here.
Right. See, Andy brought it out now. I don't know if you following me, Mimi, but I did call the brothers out. We did talk about how a lot of the points that we brought up are not gendered, which means it goes both ways. It's bi-directional. We did say that, Mimi.
I was late also. I was like 20 minutes late. But again, I will tell Andy, read the chat.
All right.
I'm sure he does.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read this chat and see what's going on and see who's messing with Mimi. Mimi, guess what you just did?
I brought Jacksonville, Florida in the building.
Jacksonville, Florida is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know the routine. All you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. Rob B., Nashville, Tennessee. You're up next when I come forward. What's the last one? And she's so good. Yeah, she good. Hey, what song I got? You better believe it. You better believe that's coming. God damn, that's coming. What Ghostface? 30 seconds. Come on, y'all. Y'all gotta stop playing with Mike, man. Mike was serious about these women, wasn't he? He said they was dangerous. Oh, Mike he wasn't playing, man. Hey, listen, let me just get to these callers, man. Because we're getting close to the end of the show. I want to get these callers in here. My playlist has been bananas all night. Rob B, Nashville, Tennessee, volunteer state. Get in here.
It is better to live on the corner of a road than share a home with a quarrelsome wife. No, when I tell you I dodged the bullet,
really?
I was Matrix style dodging the bullet. And the thing is, I wanted to get hit. For the better part of the last 3 years, I had spent on a treadmill, on a hamster wheel, of trying to fill a bottomless pit, pouring into someone who the more I poured, the more I was told it wasn't enough. If any sense of happiness outside of this person was frowned upon, any camaraderie with friends and family was shunned, slight collecting, perceived slights that turned into major arguments. No apology was ever good enough, and this person never did anything wrong. And it got to a point where, when all else failed, abandonment was the tool of choice. When it came to, I want you to capitulate or else. And when the abandonment started to lose its effect, then it's the yo-yo effect. Pull me close, push me away. Pull me close, push me away. Pull me close, push me away. And but I'm thankful for it in a way because it pushed me more toward my spiritual journey.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot about myself that I was like, you know what? In this time of being single, I'm going to focus on my development.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to focus on what I need to change and how did I attract this?
Mm-hmm.
And why did I let it last for so long?
Rob B, man. You killing, brother, but you at the end of the show. I got to go, but goodness gracious. Hey, man, we miss you, man. You got to start calling back in more often, all right?
Man, I need to. Work schedule changed up on me.
That's all right, but guess what you just did?
I brought Nashville in the building.
Nashville is in the building. Hey, no better way to end the show than to bring Los Angeles in the building. Daryl, get in here.
Let's come on up in here, sir. How are you doing tonight?
I'm alive and well, brother. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Well, it's really, there was a lot said tonight that I can kind of co-sign on.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a 20-year marriage of total toxicity as well as alcohol abuse. I believe she became an alcoholic because her dad was an alcoholic and she hated him for it. So you don't get to hate your, in my opinion, you don't get to hate your parents.
Mm-hmm.
So you become what you hate.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what helped me, solidify her demise. But that said, a woman can definitely, take the wind out of your sails.
Or put the wind in them.
That's what I was, took the words right out of my mouth. But she can definitely put the wind behind those sails as well.
Yeah.
And it's all, for me, it's in her femininity. If she's humble, if she's supportive, if she's, she doesn't use a lot of vulgarity to express herself. She keeps that feminine aspect of what a woman should be. In my opinion, I'll go through walls for her. I'll crawl over a mile of broken glass for her, as long as she's keeping that femininity. Now, by the same token, it is bi-directional. Because I've known some brothers that really tear women down.
Yes.
And that's usually the woman you end up with. And so instead of her, going back after the guy that did all this. And then there's another aspect of the equation is women that get abused get used to it, and that's what they seek out.
Some of them, not all, but some.
But some but all.
Yes.
Some but all, you're absolutely right. But it's baked in the cake to a certain degree.
Baked in the cake. I'm stealing that. I'm sorry. It's baked in the cake.
I'm just saying because it becomes, especially if she's attractive and insecure. Like the brother was saying at the beginning of the show, that insecure woman, dear Lord.
Mm-hmm.
As she's attractive and she's feeling insecure, like I'm a workaholic. So if I'm working a 16, 17-hour day, I got to come home. Oh, she's going to be on fire. I got to defend myself. Because there's no way somebody's been out working that long in her mind because of her insecurity. So I just wanted to throw that out there, dude. I know we're at the end of the show.
That's right. And guess what you just did? Guess what you just did?
I'm bringing LA up there.
Los Angeles is in the building. Listen, I love having a national dialogue. That's what it is. Nobody is in here purporting to be 100% right about anything. I'm asking, what's your opinion? What's your perspective on these mind-blowing topics, man? And these are discussions that I feel should be had often. We should have these kind of talks. At the end of the day, both men and women can speak life and death into each other. And I think it comes from the life that's in you or the death that's already in you, male or female. And to me, that death can gain strength if you don't look at it, if you don't embrace it. That's the shadow work. That's all the stuff that, you picked up as you grew up. You gotta confront it. If not, it's gonna manifest itself right into the relationship. We started the conversation, you end it, and of course, up next, the fire continues with RSVP with Jill Monroe. VOR, enjoy Thanksgiving. I'm out. Firework, guys. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. All right. Deuces.